Hi everybody, I hope you had a great week. Sorry there was no video last week. It's my busiest time of year at work, and so I just wasn't able to film one. But we're back this week and we're going to refresh a lot of things. So we'll just get started on the bottom drawer here. And, someone was kind enough to reach out to me and tell me that the reason that I might have been having trouble with my blending with this new microfiber sponge here might have been because it was meant for powder, and this is from Shop Miss A. And I did give it another try and read a little more about it, and it looks like you can use it for foundation, but it's just not working for me. So I did try it with powders. It does work better with powders, but for foundation, this is like a no-go for me. So I'm actually going to just throw this out. So then I have been using the Cover FX foundation and concealer, the Power Play, now for I think 3 or 4 weeks. So it's time to put that back and pick something else. And when I did use a brush and a regular beauty blender, I had a much better experience with this. So it's not the product, at least I know that. So for powder, I'm just going to leave that Too Faced powder in for another week, and this Vitamin Rich Face Base will stay in. So will the J1 Jelly Pack here, and these other primers that I have. But I have pulled a few new things that I'm excited to share with you. Moving on to this next drawer here. I love my Hourglass powders, and this was the Hourglass powder in Dim Light, and I'm going to pull another powder, and it's not an Hourglass one this week. My Too Faced powder always stays in here, and I'm going to keep my Poreless primer in from Tarte also. If you follow me, then you know that this always stays in because I broke it, and so I just am like trying to get some use out of it before I decide if I just want to toss it out or something. But, it's a pretty color. It's much more golden than what I like, so I may have to just let that one go. And I'll just leave in these powders here. And, of course, you can see I'm making quite a bit of progress on this Becca primer here for the under eyes. And I don't know if I'll repurchase it, though. It's like pretty expensive, but we'll see when I'm done with it what my final thoughts are on that. It's time to pull some new glitters. So these beautiful greens with the Stila really complemented the Natasha Denona palette. So I'm going to put these back. And of course with the shimmers, they're like a little more liquidy, so you have to be more careful with those. And just really tap them in fairly lightly or they'll move your eyeshadow. Gonna leave everything else in over here. These lippies can go. I had a few new Kylie ones that I was trying, and I had pulled this Rapture Urban Decay lip gloss, and it was really nice, so I'm gonna put that back. I usually have a gloss in that I'm kind of trying to focus on using, but for these purposes I'm gonna pull a new one. And I'm going to leave these Kylie pencils in. I'm really getting along with those pretty well. I really like them. So I'm going to leave those in. And I wanted to show you my progress on this brow pencil. There's like not much left there. Let me see if I can get you close enough to really see. There's just not much there anymore. So I'm hoping I can finish that sucker up and move it out. And honestly, I just never want to see this kind again. So, unfortunately, I do think I have a couple of the larger types in there, and I will probably just declutter them. And then I figured out with this Laura Geller Incredible Blue Jean Baby Waterproof eyeliner, it totally runs to the corners, so this one's a goner too. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I just don't have a use for an eyeliner that can't stay put. I'm sure you guys feel mostly the same way. So moving on to the palettes that were on the top here. Just going to bring them all down. And, you know, if I had to keep the same items in here for a couple of weeks, I'm glad it was these because I really enjoyed them. And I got a lot of good use out of this one here. I just want to kind of show you an up close of that highlighter damage I was able to do. And this is a really awesome palette, and I'll pull it another time. And that was the Sculpt and Glow from Natasha Denona. I've got this Diamond and Blush palette from Natasha Denona also. It's really a favorite. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of the highlighting products, you know, were a little bit too dark for me. But, you know, I was able to make it work. And I do like that palette, but I think I like the Daria version a little better. I think it just works better for my skin tone. So the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I really enjoyed it. I got a lot of good use out of it also. But what I will say that I found, it made for some very dark, smoky eye looks, which, you know, looking at the palette, that's what I would expect. But for my preference, I do prefer like a lighter lid. And so I did learn that for this palette, I'm going to have to bring in something to lighten the lid and supplement this palette for the look that I like. But I really love the formula. It's a beautiful palette, and the shade selection is wonderful, and I really enjoyed it, especially the greens. Now for this Futurism 5 palette Electro Turquoise from Kaleidos. It's awesome. That green is just really amazing, and this has a little bit of a gold shift to it, which I really enjoyed. So I was able to make complete eye looks out of this, and I really love this palette. So it's time to shop my stash. So this week I think I'm going to pull in this Algenist color correcting powder that I had picked up on sale recently, and it looks very interesting. I don't know that I've ever tried anything that had like a blend of the colors in it before. And then I've been thinking about this Sweetie Pie bronzer from Too Faced, and I love the way that this is scented, and I like the color. It works really well for me, so I'm going to pull that in for this week. I picked up some Vapor Beauty to try this week, and I've got a primer that I'm going to use from them, and also a foundation stick. But I did want to pull something else for concealing in, because I didn't pick up a concealer, and I haven't used this Benefit Bake Up in a while, so I'll pull that in. And then I want to pull in one of the Jeffree Star concealers here. So I've got C1 and C2. So probably going to pull in the C2 for now. So I did do some work over the last couple weeks, just organizing my lip drawer. And I was just kind of thinking about pulling in these Lila Bees. I've got 3 of them. And this one is the Lila Bee Lovely Divine Duo Lip and Cheek, and I think that's probably going to end up being my favorite shade right there, just based on looking at it. And this one is the shade Be Fearless, and the packaging, it's just really fun. It's weighted. It kind of reminds me of like a river pebble, and I really like it a lot. And then this one is Be Memorable. And there you go. Very pretty shade. So I'm going to see what use I can get out of those. And then I want to pull at least one Buxom gloss to use, because I really love the Buxom glosses. I think they're really nice. Okay, this looks like a good choice. Okay, that's called Claire. So we'll bring this Buxom gloss in. You can see it's got a little shimmer. And that'll be all the lippies for the week. So it's my favorite part. It's time to pull highlighters. And so I've been really thinking about these Fenty ones here. And this one is a favorite. It's How Many Carats, so I'm definitely going to pull this one in. This one is Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. And I don't get a whole lot of use out of these, so I'm definitely going to pull this one in. This one is Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. It's more of like a pinky one. So I'll save that for another time. And then this one is Metal Moon. And I haven't used this very often either, so I'm going to pull this one in also. So I was looking around a little bit in this drawer to think about what I might want to pull. And I came across my palettes, you know, for depotted items. And I have these really pretty ones, and I believe that these are Laura Geller. So I'm going to pull these in for this week, and I think that'll be plenty of blush. So we have a few new eyeshadow palettes that I want to pull in this week, and when I was kind of looking at them, I noticed that they don't have a whole lot of transition and lighter shades, so I thought that I might pull in some of these Marc Jacobs singles here. And let's just see what we have here. So this is the Primo Omega eyeshadow, and that's a really pretty light shade, so that's a good possibility of something that might be good to bring in. I'm just going to stack them right here until I decide what I want to bring in here. This is Bravo here, and that's more of a bronze, so I'll definitely leave that one. It's a little darker than what I'm looking for. This is Daddy-O, and that would probably be a good transition shade, so I'm going to leave that one out. This is Perfecto. That's a definite that I want to bring in for sure. This is Dynamo, and I'm going to leave that one in. Oh yeah, too dark. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be too dark also, and that's OMG. Oh Mercy is probably going to be too dark. And I think there's just one more. The Big O. Alright, I'm going to bring these 4 in here. And I think that those will complement those other palettes really well. So that's what we'll do this week. So for glitters this week, I'm thinking I'm going to pull some of these Lime Crime Diamond Dews. I don't use them very often, and I honestly, it's been so long I don't even remember how I feel about them anymore. So I'm going to bring a few in. This is Confetti here, and probably a few more lighter ones. So this is Pixie here. Very pretty. In the container anyway, so we'll see. I don't really remember how they perform. But there's got to be a reason. I've stuck them in the back of the drawer, so we'll figure it out. Okay, so this one is Aurora. That looks like a pretty option. And then, how about this one? Oh yeah, that looks really, really nice. This one is called Chocolate Diamond. Oh no, there's like an AB coating on there. So that's not the color that's coming through on that. I'm going to put that one back. Okay, this will be a good option, I think. Okay, Holy Shift. We'll pull Holy Shift in. I think it'll complement these other palettes that I'm pulling in. Just like you've seen in prior weeks, I've got everything that I pulled from last week's Shop My Stash on this side, and everything new over here. And I just wanted to lead in with these products that I picked up from Vapor. I think it's called Vapor Beauty. But they're an organic brand, and I was really excited to try them because I guess their packaging has been updated. So they have a lot of products that they had on sale for like $5, y'all. So I was like, if there was ever a time to try a brand, I'm gonna try it now. So I got all these goodies from Vapor, and just kind of starting out here, this is the Stratus Soft Focus Skin Perfecting Primer. And what I'll tell you that I noticed pretty much like right off the bat with Vapor Beauty products is that they have like an herbal scent that I'm not really that crazy for, and it kind of lasts for a little while. But the products themselves, they're really nice. So I like a luminous finish, and if you can just kind of see that, I mean, I really like that a lot. So I'm going to blend it in a little bit more just so you can kind of see. But it leaves a really pretty glow to the skin. And the scent, it lasts about an hour or so. And I tried these when I went on a date with my husband last night, and I was really impressed with, you know, the finish and the staying power, but the scent, guys, it's strong. So this is the Atmosphere Soft Focus Foundation. And when I looked at this shade, I kind of thought it might be a little deep for me, but these are just like really blendable, you know, they're like thin textured, so they just kind of blend right into the skin. So let's just rub that one in here, and you know, I did use my fingers for basically that whole routine that I did last night, and I mean, I was really just happy with the results. So just kind of, you know, you can see it just makes the skin look really nice, and it blends in really easy, and the color, you know, it works for me. So I was happy with that. But I was even more impressed with the foundation stick. So this is the shade 90, and that foundation was in the shade 100. So I would have liked to have gotten a lighter shade in the foundation, but for trial purposes, I wasn't willing to pay $15, and it was marked up a little bit more. But this is the Atmosphere Luminous Foundation in 090 from Vapor. And this is what I liked more. But if you can see, it just leaves like a really light finish, and it just blends out really easy. And I had truly forgotten, you know, how much I really liked cream products, especially stick foundations, you know. But it's just a really good shade match, and I like the luminous finish. So I think I just broke down and I bought like 8 sticks of that, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm like crazy about it. And for $5. So this Stratus Instant Skin Perfector, this is like a primer stick. I couldn't really tell one way or another if it really like did anything, but it feels nice on the skin. And you see there's just like, it doesn't add it really anything. It didn't really seem to fill pores, but it did seem like a good hydrator. But you have to just keep in mind the scent, y'all. It's very strong. So this is Aura Multi-Use Tender. It's like a blush stick. And I just thought that the color was really pretty, and since I was trying the brand, you know, I thought that would be a good one to try out. And you can tell that's like a luminous blush there. See if I can build it up a little bit for you. But it's got a pretty color. Yeah, it's very complimentary. And if you like a glowy blush, you know, that's a good option. I also picked up a lippy from them, and this is called Siren Possess. And that's the color. And we'll just give a little swatch right there. But you can tell it's like all light makeup, you know. Looks like it's all cream products, and just nice. I really like it a lot, so I'd be interested to know if you guys have tried anything from the brand. So we'll just add everything to the organizer here. We're mostly going to stick down to the bottom here. And they pretty much fit just fine in there, so we'll just keep them all together. But that is going to be pretty much my face space for the week. But I was just so impressed with that. What do you guys think? And I had pulled a few, new to me items. So this Algenist Color Correcting Finishing Powder. This was on sale recently, and I thought, well, it's, a finishing powder, so let me give that a try. And the only thing that I've kind of used that might be kind of similar to this is not in a compact at all. It is, those Guerlain meteorites that have the multicolors. So I'm gonna pull it in. We'll give it a chance and see how it does. So no hourglass powders this week, guys. Can you believe it? So I have this Z palette. It's full of Laura Geller. And, I really like her blush formula. So we'll see if we can get you some swatches here. I just think that her blush formula is really pretty. And, what I kind of always thought was so funny is a lot of the colors look really similar, but you can see that the finishes are very different. And with that heart one there, that's interesting to me that you can, focus on that and just use that as a highlighter if you wanted to, or you can make it a glowy blush. And here's the last couple, and this is more of an eyeshadow. It's like Neapolitan, but I have not really used it very often. So let's see if we can get the other colors there for you. And you'll see it's just like light washes of color for that eye product. But I think that's a nice variety of, blushes as far as powder for the week. But her baked blushes are pretty special. What do you guys think? Have you tried the Laura Geller blushes before? And we'll just add that to the top of the organizer here towards the back. So it's kind of a bigger item there. And then we'll look at these Marc Jacobs Omega eyeshadows here. And I just, I haven't used these very often, and I really think that they're pretty. So let's just open them all up here. And with the palettes that I brought in, I thought that these would be very complimentary and handy. So these are the shades here. And let's get some swatches. So the first one that we're going to swatch here is Primo. And that's a very metallic shade. I love that. And that's really what I was kind of missing with that Natasha Denona palette, was like a, nice bright lid shade. And that is such a creamy feeling matte there. How unbelievable is that? So this one is the Big O Omega eyeshadow. And it says that these are a gel powder formula. I mean, they're just very pigmented and very nice. I mean, look at that, seriously. I need to use these more. So that one was Perfect O. Then the last one here is Daddy O. And it just feels so soft. Do you see that? Like, we're talking like major pigmentation. And they're just very pretty. You can tell that they're going to blend out very easily. And I'm really excited to incorporate those this week. I mean, really, you could just get a complete look with them, honestly. So that's nice. So we're going to add those to the organizer here. And I do love to see it when the organizer is nice and full, like it's going to be this week, so that's awesome. So next we have these Fenty highlighters here. And if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that this How Many Carats is just truly one of my favorites. And it's very much a glittery kind of sparkly highlighter, and I usually like to layer it over other highlighters. And this is Lightning Dust and Crystal Fire, and I haven't used this very much, but I'm interested to see how they layer now. So you can see there's like a more subtle shine like here, and a more glowy side right here. And then next we have Metal Moon, and I remember being so excited when this came out, and I just have such a big collection that honestly I just don't get the use out of a lot of things that I should, which is why I kind of started this Shop My Stash. But that's a really pretty gold, and I think this is just going to be a beautiful week for highlighters. I'm very excited to try these. And then the Sweetie Pie bronzer. I mean, honestly, it's just one of my favorites. I've been using it for a long time. I love the scent, I love the finish, and if I want to, I can use it as a blush, but I really just like it as a bronzer. And it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and I usually don't like that in a bronzer, but for some reason, I really like this one, so we'll add all these to the organizer. I did move over the Marc Jacobs Omegas to kind of make room for everything. And it looks like most of our slots are going to be full, which is very exciting. And then we can move on to these Lila Bees here. So these Lila Bee lip and cheek duos, I just think that the packaging is wonderful, like I told you before. And let's just see how they swatch. So this is Be Fearless. Then we'll try the one that I think is going to end up being my favorite, which is Be Lovely. It's like a brownie pink. And they're very like glossy feeling. So that's interesting. Be Memorable is our last one here. That's more of a berry, just so you can get a feel for the shades there. I was really hoping this one was going to be a little more pink, but that's okay. I can make it a little more pink, you know, mixing it with a lip liner, so that's okay. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was this Fix Plus in Cucumber, and I picked this up during the Ulta sale, and I think it was like half off. And as you can see, I've already been using it because I found that this is just not enough for what I like. So I've been kind of prepping my skin with this one, which makes sense for primer water, you guys, and using this more so to set the powdery finish of my makeup products. So I'm going to add these to the top here, and I'll probably use these until they're gone. I probably won't bring another one in because, as you can see, I kind of run through these pretty quickly. But this cucumber is like divine. It's probably my favorite MAC one that I've tried so far. And we'll move on to these glitters here from Lime Crime. And like I said, I really don't remember how I feel about these, but we'll use them this week and see. And this is Aurora. Let's see if we can get a little more on there. Like a bigger swatch. I can tell I already probably don't use these because of the packaging. If you look at it, it's like kind of a nightmare to use, but they're really pretty. That is beautiful. So I'm really happy I'm pulling these out. And this is Pixie. So, you know, reaching back in your collection and using something you haven't used in a while, it feels pretty good. And then letting go of those things that, you know, just they don't work for you feels good too, to also kind of clean up the collection. So that's my primary focus. Unfortunately, I can't stop buying, y'all. All these new releases are coming out and I really want them. So I've been kind of caving recently, which is why we're not shopping the stash for the eyeshadow palettes. But I'm working on it. Do better than I did last year. So this one's confetti. And that's really pretty. It's like a chunkier glitter. I like that a lot. We'll see how they do in the eyes. Because I'm sure there's a reason I push them to the back. And as I'm playing with this packaging, I really think it's because of the packaging and because the steel they look like they pack more of a punch than these. And so this one's Holy Shift. But you can just tell, you know, they don't have like a depth of color to them. They look like they're going to be more of a topper. Let's see if I can focus you in a little more. So pretty glitters. I'll let you know how they do this week. I certainly have a lot of them, so we're going to add these at the top right here. And then I've got a couple of eyeshadow palettes that I want to show you here. And the first one's this Dominique Cosmetics Celestial one, which we'll talk more about. And this is the Kaleidos Cosmetics Futurism 4 Neon. And we're going to get more into those. Let me just get these swatches off my hand here. Okay, so this Kaleidos Futurism 4 Neons. What do we think of those colors there? We'll give it a quick swatch. I really have been just in love with their formula and their packaging. So I think I'm pretty much just going to buy everything they come out with because I can't resist it. And for the price, I feel like it's very good quality. I think these were around $24, and occasionally they do have, you know, some coupons that come out for like 10 or 15% off. So not very often, but sometimes. So we have two more shades there to swatch. Whoa, that looks really pretty. Oh wow, I don't know if I have an orange like that in my collection. But I tell ya, I love the way these look already. So we're going to add that to the top of the organizer here. And then we'll move on to this Dominique Cosmetics Celestial palette. So it's Celestial Storm. And just so you can get a good look at it, it's really a pretty palette. And I apologize if you can hear that noise. My son's playing Lego Ninjago. Can you hear that? So these are the shades here. It's just very pretty. So let's see if we can get some swatches here for ya. Okay, so we'll just swatch row by row here. And we're going to start with this Electric Amethyst. And wow, that's really pretty. And Stargaze is our next one here. Then we have Lucid Dream. And then we have Storm Dust. So that's the shades there. We'll see if we can get you some close swatches here. And I don't know why, but they don't quite have the impact that I guess I was expecting. Because doesn't that Stargaze look like it has a little more blue in it? Let's just look at it up close. So Stargaze. That looks a little more blue, right? It kind of looks like gray on my hand. Let's see if we can build those up a little bit. The rest of them were kind of what I was expecting. And looking at the palette, I think I might have skipped that Eternal Light. So we'll go back and look at that one again. Okay, so yeah, same result there. That is a little bit surprising. Okay, let me go ahead and get in Eternal Light and this Lunar Eclipse here. And they look really pretty. Okay. Wow, that's pretty impactful. I like that a lot. And that's Eternal Light. So I don't know, was anybody else expecting Stargaze and Electric Amethyst to have a little bit more oomph? I guess I'm satisfied once the Electric Amethyst is built up, but that Stargaze, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. You never know with swatches though. They perform completely differently on the eye. So we'll do the bottom row now. And we'll start with this Asteroid Lust, Mystic Ice, Zero Gravity, and then Black Matter. And there's the swatches on my fingers. And then that's Asteroid Lust, Mystic Ice, Zero Gravity, and Black Matter. I don't know, am I the only one that's just not impressed with that so far? I love her formula. I hope it does better on the eyes. I'll definitely report back. And then we've got Solstice here and Fireball. And those look very pretty. Let's see what we think of those. Yeah, that shade Solstice is stunning. And they look like they have a shift to them, so like a red and a pink shift. But I almost thought I saw a little bit of purple in Black Matter. So we'll add that to the top of the organizer here. Then I've got these concealers here and a gloss. So this is the Jeffree Star concealer in C1. So this will be my concealer for the week. And I love a bright under eye, so I think that that one will work well. I like to let my concealer sit for a moment before I use it. And actually, I should probably put this down here with the vapor. And then here's the Fake Up. And then I've kind of had a little bit of dry under eye recently, so I was kind of hoping that might help. I don't know though. I haven't used it in a while, and I think there's a reason. Okay, and then I've got this gloss here in Claire. Put a little swatch there, just so you can kind of see the color. And these glosses were from a sampler that I got over the holidays last year. And I usually don't like the ones that have like a glitter in it, and this one does, so we'll see if it's like fine or not. But let's just blend out that concealer a little bit so you can just kind of see. Yeah, nice and bright. I like it already. We'll put the lippy up here, and that's it, guys. Alright guys, this concludes Shop My Stash this week, and it might be a week or two before you see another video from me because it's my busy time at work. But if I don't see you next week, I hope you have a great week. And giveaway is still active. It is Shop My Stash number 9. If you're interested in learning how to enter, And I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.